Today will be lesson 23 in instructional videos for Master Kuo Lien Ying's Guang Ping original Tai Chi form. And today we're going to learn um, step up to form 7 stars and retreat to ride tiger, turn around, and again a second cross wave of water lily kick. Again, in this section, this what we're calling the ending section, many of the moves are repeated, and so you won't have to concentrate on learning the repeated moves, but learning on the new moves. So we'll take it from the beginning of the ending of that section, so you can kind of see how all fits in. The ending section starting with fan through the arm. So this ending section starts with fan through the arm. This is the second time you reach this move, and then it's deflect to the left, and then the push with the step, and then strike opponent's ears with fists, then through sky cannon, and then turning back to single whip, and then wave hands like clouds, and then single whip again, and then high pat on horse, cross wave of water lily kick, and downward fist. Step up for grass bird's tail, second variation, step up, transition to single whip, back to wave hand like clouds. This is where the lesson will begin. I'll go ahead and demonstrate it. Down, single whip down, step up to form 7 stars, step back to retreat to ride tiger, slanting body and turn the moon. Then the second, cross wave of water lily kick. And then we'll end the lesson right here. An important note to talk about is if you notice that the movements end on kind of the end farthest of the right or left, facing camera left, and then farthest to the right. When you get back to retreat to ride tiger here, you want to be in a position in the layout where this is right foot back here. Right there will be where you actually end the form. If I did the moves, you'd see. So you want this movement to be in the middle of the workout area. So that's an important note to consider. Again, I want to emphasize that when you're doing the single whip and then the moves on either side, you want to be at the end of your workout area. But when you come back through for this final single whip, wave hand like clouds, single whip, you want to finish that last single whip in the middle of the workout area, because that's basically where you're going to finish the completion of the form. You want to finish the form as you started in the middle of the workout area. Many times when I'm finishing up my students' um, learning of the form, the test at the very end is to finish where you began. And I can kind of decide the format of the workout area. It could be a long, narrow space or a square space. But I wanted them to understand the form enough that when they finish, they're going to finish basically in the same spot that they started. So that's going to be an important consideration from when you do your last series of single whip, wave hand like clouds, single whip to where you come back. So we'll do it from the downward fist, grass bird tail, so you can see what that looks like. So I want my downward fist to be in the furthest of the workout area over on this side. And then of course grass bird tail, you're going to extend a little further. So now when I come back, I want my end single whip after wave hand like clouds to be in the middle. And again, you can adjust your footwork as well to facilitate that. So this right foot will be where I'm going to end up the form. So that's just a consideration I want you to consider. Okay, we start with single whip and drop down, step up to form 7 stars. I'm going to do it in the direction that you normally do in the form, but then I'll turn around so you can get a better view of the hand position. So single whip, and then drop down like you did just in before you did golden cock stands on one leg. Again, depending on the width of your horse, depends if you have to drop down, whether you have enough room to do the falling stance. If you're up higher, then it's better to step back for so you have enough width to do the falling stance with a fairly erect back. So again, from single whip, drop down, and then when you come up, you're going to punch. In this left guarding hand will be in a vertical position, and you're going to be like in a low height. Not erect, but low. So one more time, from single whip, drop down, and then step up to form 7 stars. Let me do it from facing the camera. Single whip, drop down, step up to form 7 stars. So you notice watching that from the drop down position, this hand forming the fist comes through the center. There might be a tendency to, from here, drop down to rotate and then come, we should come from this rear position through following good Kung Fu principles of a straight line force through the center. So that's just a little nuance here. Drop down and then come with your force straight through. And then coming in the force straight through, like a follow step. Weight is 80 to 90% on the left and just slightly touching on the toe as you form up and finish the punch. So I do it facing 180 degrees in this direction so you can see better. Single whip, drop down, step up, form 7 stars. Your stepping will be slightly completed before the ending of the punch, so you have the full route when you're completing the punch. Here, single whip, drop down. Keep looking in the direction that you're going to punch and step up. Here. So now the next move will be from here, step back to retreat to ride tiger. So when you're stepping up to form 7 stars, this would be a vertical palm, like a blade hand, and vertical fist. So when you come back, you're going to keep your weight over the left and drop down into a forward bow stance, like that. Back leg is pretty straight. Arm goes out in a diagonal, parallel to your foot, and the palm is flat, facing up. And similar to a lot of the Shaolin moves. So again, from here, step back, and as I step back from the punch, I need to drop down so that I can gain space. I don't want to step back like that. I want to drop down basically where I am. You see a lot of people stepping back. But remember, in the earlier lessons, when you're like moving your foot back, try to imagine that there's a cliff in back of you and you don't always know where you are. Because if you just happen to step back, then your balance is kind of like not very good until you actually plant your foot. But if you just step back by lowering down, you still have a strong stance, and if something happens back here, like a foot sweep or something like that, you're still in good position. So step up for 7 stars, step back to retreat to ride tiger. From here, you're going to face 90 degrees as you change your hand position, and you notice the hand position stays as the opposite of where you were. So from here, here. So again, this arm is 45 degrees down with a flat palm. So as you change, this right hand comes across horizontally. This is where you break that rule, coming through the center like that. And this one goes out this way. And at the same time, you're into kind of a cat stance, right weight on the right and on the toe, like this. You'll see better when I turn around. Okay, so let's face this direction. Form up to 7 stars. Step back to retreat to ride tiger. See how it stays fairly square. Now we're going to turn 90 degrees. So I'm going to pivot. Again, this arm is going out at 45 degrees. Palm is flat horizontal. Right is extended with a vertical blade hand. Okay, again, from this form up to 7 stars punch. Step back. All I did was drop my height. From here, I'm going to kind of pivot my weight over to the right as I swing the foot. One more time. Form up to 7 stars. Step back, retreat to ride tiger, and then pivot. In this movement, step back, retreat to ride tiger. Remember that the hands go horizontal as you're pivoting here. So you're in this position here. So using kind of like a counter torque in order to facilitate more power in your leg. Think of that leg as a foot sweep and pushing across. So using kind of counterbalance in order to create the force for this sweep. So again, from here, as you step back, and then the opponent is over here, like that. Like that. In the form, you're not looking this way forward. You continue to look this way as you do the pivot, and then you look forward. So do it in 180-degree direction so you can see the opposite side. So from single whip, drop down, step up to form 7 stars, step back to ride, retreat to ride tiger, and then stepping at 90 degrees. Okay, one more time. Single whip, drop down, step up to form 7 stars. Step back, retreat to ride tiger. Here. So in the direction that you're supposed to look at, in single whip, you're looking in this direction. As you drop down, you continue looking in that direction as you form 7 stars. Step up. When you come back, you're looking in this direction, and as you do retreat to ride tiger, you continue looking in that direction. You don't turn forward like this. Okay. So let's finish off slanting body and turn the moon. So back to the original direction that we're doing the form in. Again, this left foot should be about in the middle of the area, workout area, when you finish for single whip. So that's going to be where you end the form. Drop down, step up, form 7 stars, step back, and then the pivot. From here, you're going to turn 180 degrees to the front and use the twist of your body to precipitate the movement for the turn. You're going to turn on your toe where you want. So you end up in the same thing. And then now you're going to step out into an even horse like that. So again, form up to 7 stars, step back, retreat to ride tiger. Slanting body and turn the moon. As you step out on the 45. And from here, you do cross wave of water lily kick. And then end on the 45 here. So again, emphasizing this right foot from where you're going to end up on the final completion of the form. I want you to watch where this right foot is as I do this move. So when I step up from the single whip from here, as I step up, when I step back, my foot is going to be pretty much the same place as it was in single whip. When I'm changed to the 90-degree turn, the foot is in the same place. And as I pivot on the toe, that foot didn't move. Left foot swung around as I did the pivot here. And then come forward, and as I do cross a wave of water lily kick, that foot ends up in that same 45 spot. And then as I do shoot tiger bow and then, step up and back for tail, when I do the final completion, that foot will be in that spot. And that's why I kind of keep talking about this. That spot is your ending spot. Again, in the form, you just need to know what moves are ahead and to determine your foot placement within the area that you're working out in. So kind of like planning ahead. So that's probably the most important part about the foot positioning. When you do that ending single whip where your right foot ends, is going to be where you end the form. So again, let's do that one more time. And also talk about the pivot. So from step up, form 7 stars, step back to retreat to ride tiger to the 90-degree position. Remember, change the hands. And again, from watch when you retreat to ride tiger and then you do the pivot for the hands go out horizontal. They just reverse positions. Here, here. Now, when you do the pivot, you want to lift your left foot up as you do the spin here. And then hand comes to the front, facing down, and then the same tip for the cross wave of water lily kick. And we're going to end the lesson here. We're not going to go into shoot tiger with bow. I'm going to have a whole lesson devoted to that and talk about some exercises and details for that movement. That's all I want to say about shoot tiger with bow in this lesson. We're going to devote a whole lesson just to shoot tiger with bow in the next lesson. So, okay, that'll be the lesson for today. Thank you.